Jai Hind, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome and greeting of the day to each one of you. Aviation Safety India is happy to share a video presentation on analysis of an accident to S-76C++ helicopter and lessons learned. The analysis of this accident has highlighted the need for better knowledge, situational awareness, good planning, preparation, briefing, and proper risk assessment by the pilots before undertaking operations. Analysis of every accident/incident brings out some lessons which must be learnt by the pilots to prevent repeat occurrences. First, we shall discuss the sequence of events. S-76C++ helicopter was involved in an unfortunate accident on 25th May 2017 during a VIP flight from a helipad at an elevation of 2000 feet. There were 4 passengers and 2 crew members on board the helicopter at the time of accident. Both the pilots were well experienced and duly qualified to operate the subject flight. The helipad was prepared in an open ground measuring 120 meters by 110 meters, where an area measuring 75 meter by 75 meter was barricaded for the helipad. There were obstructions all around the helipad. Final approach and takeoff area and the safety area as per DGCA CAR were available at the helipad. However, the adequate length of takeoff climb surface of 8% slope was not available because of obstructions. The temperature at the time of departure around 1200 hours was 40 degrees with visibility fair and variable winds of 3 to 5 knots from northerly direction. The maximum all of weight permitted for flight at 2000 feet with 40-degree temperature as per flight manual was 10,400 pounds. The all-up weight for the flight calculated by the crew was 10,891 pounds as against the actual weight of 11,183 pounds calculated by the inquiry team. The required rejected takeoff distance for the maximum permissible takeoff weight permitted at critical decision point of 45 knots comes out to be 1250 feet approx as per the performance data available in the flight manual. The rejected takeoff distance was not available at the temporary landing ground. Hence, it can be seen that the landing area was not suitable for carrying out safe operations in category A as well as category B due to inadequate takeoff climb slope because of the close proximity of obstructions around the helipad. After the helicopter picked up and came to hover, the captain turned heading toward northerly direction to hover into wind and thereafter hover climbed out of ground effect to proceed for the takeoff. The PIC had stated during the inquiry that after a few seconds into hover, when the helicopter was around the edge of the helipad, co-pilot called out rotor RPM 102%. This was acknowledged by the PIC, and he continued to apply power to gain height and also moved forward to cross the high tension wires for takeoff. The helicopter did not gain height even after the application of extra power. During this time, the helicopter had crossed the barricaded area and was engulfed by the dust, which was kicked up due to strong rotor downwash caused by the main rotor, which obscured the vision of the crew. As the helicopter was transiting in the process of takeoff with max collective, the co-pilot called out close proximity of cables and rotor RPM dropping at 93%. The helicopter started sinking instead of climbing to cross over the obstacles. The PIC immediately called for raising the undercarriage to avoid its entanglement with high tension cables. However, in the process, the helicopter belly hit the high tension cables and helicopter lost the yaw control and turned right. Subsequently, the main rotor blades hit a tree and the roof of a truck and sheared off. The five tail rotor blades also hit the roof of a hut and sheared off. Thereafter, the helicopter crash landed and settled on the ground between a truck and a hut. It is interesting to note that the PIC had earlier operated flight from the same helipad in December 2016. During the month of December, surface temperature was lower and consequently the density altitude and power requirement also is lower. Now we'll discuss the analysis by Aviation Safety Management Society of India. From the sequence of events, it is abundantly clear that the pilot did not carry out proper planning, preparation, briefing, risk assessment before undertaking the VIP flight. The helipad was unsuitable since it did not provide for adequate distance to clear the obstructions during takeoff. The knowledge of the pilots about the adverse effects on the performance of the helicopter in high temperature conditions appears to be inadequate. The density altitude of the helipad with an elevation of 2000 feet and surface temperature of 40 degrees was around 5480 feet. The high density altitude entails high power requirement, thus reducing the reserve power and weight carrying capability of the helicopter. There was an error in calculation of the all-up weight by the pilot. Actual all-up weight was found to be 11,183 pounds, whereas the pilot had calculated the weight as 10,891 pounds, that is an error of almost 300 pounds. The max permissible weight of the helicopter under 40-degree temperature conditions at 2000 feet as per flight manual was 10,400 pounds, and the actual weight of the helicopter at the time of takeoff was 11,183 pounds. It can be seen that the helicopter was overloaded by almost 800 pounds. The lack of knowledge on the part of the pilots about the rules, regulations, and procedures related to Performance Class 1 Cat A operations is quite evident. During the hover, the pilot should have checked the power required for hover, power available, and reservoir power for the takeoff. This would have enabled the pilot to assess whether the helicopter can take off safely in the face of obstructions around the helipad. Rather than gaining height in hover vertically for takeoff, the pilot should have hover taxi to the beginning of the helipad to make full use of the available length of the helipad to take off. The action on the part of the pilot to gain height to hover out of ground effect before initiating takeoff further reduced the reservoir power for takeoff. Pilots should have also kept in mind that prevailing light winds at the helipad are not going to be of much help in taking off with marginal power available. The pilots lacked situational awareness about the surface condition, which was dusty in the immediate vicinity of the helipad, and high tension cables and other obstructions were present in the takeoff path. The captain gives the impression of being overconfident, unprofessional, complacent, and a bit casual in calculation of all up weight of the helicopter, power available, power required, reservoir power, and technique of taking off, climb, and obstacle clearance from restricted areas with obstructions in close vicinity. While moving forward for takeoff, the helicopter was engulfed in dust bowl, which must have made the pilot uncomfortable during critical phase of transition. Possibly in panic due to the approaching HT cables, the pilot raised collective to cross the obstruction. However, since the helicopter speed was below transition, application of more power resulted in the rotor RPM dropping and conning angle of the blades increasing. However, since the helicopter speed was below transition, application of more power resulted in the rotor RPM dropping and conning angle of the blades increasing. This seems to have resulted in reduced rotor disk area, reduced rotor thrust, thus causing the helicopter to lose height and crashing after striking the power cables in front. The district administration should have been properly briefed by the ground staff, all the pilots, to prepare the helipad as per the guidelines and to spray water just before the takeoff time, since it was very hot, to ensure that the dust is not kicked up during hover and takeoff. It also appears that the pilots were not aware of the handling characteristic of their helicopter while operating near its max limits, and they failed to appreciate the power weight ratio and the height of obstruction which they were supposed to cross. The pilots, although well experienced and qualified, did not factor high all-up weight, elevation of the helipad, high density altitude, dusty helipad, and high obstructions around the helipad. The pilots had landed at the same helipad about a year back in the month of December, when temperatures are low and the density altitude is also low. It is pertinent to mention here that the pilots had landed on this helipad just an hour before the time of accident. During the approach, the pilots should have assessed the helipad environments and general performance of the helicopter. Maybe the operation at the helipad a year back and landing of the helicopter an hour before the time of accident gave the pilots a false sense of complacency. Now we shall discuss what lessons can be learnt from the analysis of this accident. For every flight, it is essential to plan and carry out good planning, preparations, briefing, and proper risk assessment related to the flight, particularly for VIP flights, more so under marginal conditions. The pilots must make sure that they are fully situationally aware and have good knowledge about their helicopter, its performance, limitations, systems, emergencies, and operating procedures. In depth knowledge of the terrain, obstructions around the helipad, surface conditions of and around the helipad, weather, time of the day, and environmental conditions is essential. Correct procedures and technique of takeoff, approach, and landing from helipad, particularly restricted and dusty helipad, should be known to the pilots. Dusty helipads should not be accepted unless adequate water has been sprayed to prevent dust from rising, not only on the helipad area but in the takeoff and approach path. In hot weather conditions, adequate amount of water should be sprayed just a couple of minutes before landing or takeoff, and it must be briefed to the concerned officials to keep water bowser for the purpose rather than depending on the water contained in the firefighting vehicles, which the firefighter will be reluctant to spare for spraying. Pilots should never be complacent or confident and should not indulge in show off or eagerness to impress or please the VIP. Safety of the flight should be uppermost in the mind of the pilots. High temperature conditions obtained during summer months will lead to high density altitude, high requirement of power, less reservoir power, reduced load carrying ability and maneuverability, longer takeoff and landing runs due to higher TS and ground speed. Pilots should keep the above factors in mind. Pilot must be careful in calculating the density altitude, reservoir power and load carrying capacity. The load and trim sheet should be accurately prepared, keeping in mind power available, power required, all of weight, and CG limits. No casual attitude should be displayed. Pilots should not accept any additional load beyond the capacity of the helicopter, even if the request comes directly from the VIP. The pilots must have courage of conviction and inform the VIP politely that they are placing the safety of VIP on highest priority and hence cannot accommodate the additional load. Even if the pilots have made a mistake in calculating max all of weight and they realize it after pickup to hover that the helicopter is overloaded, they should not hesitate to sit down and offload. In order to save little embarrassment, the pilots should not aggravate the situation by attempting to take off under false belief and misplaced hope that they will be able to take off. It is better to sit down, reduce weight, and face little embarrassment than to crash land attempting to take off the overloaded helicopter. professional risk assessment, comprehensive pre-flight briefing, good crew resource management, knowledge of rules, regulations and procedures, high standards of knowledge and skill levels, remaining alert and situationally aware, particularly during critical phases of the flight, avoidance of overconfidence and complacency, and strict adherence to SOPs are essential for safety of aviation operations. Thanks a lot, ladies and gentlemen, for your kind attention to go through this video presentation. Objective of the analysis of this accident is to learn lessons and not to find faults. We have highest respect for the pilots and their professionalism and seek their cooperation and support in enhancing safe flying environments in the country. Unfortunately, most of us do not learn lessons from past occurrences. Similar accident had occurred in Punjab in 2006 with a VIP on board under identical conditions, but no lessons were learned. Let's all be wiser and benefit from others' experiences to prevent history repeating itself. Wishing you all happy, safe flying and many happy landings. Jai Hind.